Amanda. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and spending a few minutes of your day to hang out with me. I am starting a new series on my channel called Roasting New Makeup Releases. I don't know where this high demand of every single brand release, and I know that we're approaching the holiday season, but this has been happening since midsummer, I feel like. Fair warning, this video will be long. Grab a snack, brew that next cup of coffee, and I'm just gonna give you my opinions on new makeup releases. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below of the releases that we cover in this video. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys in case if you are on the fence of deciding buying some of these releases. I know I'm trying to be a little bit more selective instead of buy. Before we jump in, I'd really appreciate it if you click subscribe before clicking off this video. I post new videos every single week, Monday through Friday, of beauty hauls, subscription unboxings, first impressions, eyeshadow palette reviews, and more. Also on my eyes, I'm wearing the new Lilac You A Lot ColourPop monochromatic palette. I will link a comparison video of Lilac You A Lot versus It's My Pleasure in the cards and also in the description below. And I have the Stila liquid lipstick in the shade Chianti. And yes, I'm wearing lashes. I didn't feel like wearing mascara or eyeliner, and my eyes gave me a hard time putting these on. They started to water really bad, but Delta, they are on. I have a list, and I also have my phone, and I will also post some photos over here of the releases that we will be covering. Starting with the elephant in the room of makeup releases, the Norvina volumes 2 and 3. I did purchase volume 1. I haven't gotten around to review and do a 3 looks 1 video for you guys. I'm so sorry, but I did end up ordering volumes 2 and 3, and I plan on doing a comparison video of the 3 palettes, giving you my feedback on how each of them perform and giving you an idea of the color story of them swatched. I know looking at them, it looks very overwhelming. This is definitely different for Anastasia. They would only really release like 1 or 2 palettes a year, and they've released about 5 so far. Riviera, Alyssa Edwards, Jackie Aina. Oh wow, and then now the 3 volume ones, so 6. For me, I'm getting more into colorful looks. I definitely grabbed these palettes for that reason, to build up my collection. Don't really like the names of the palettes. That is one thing that bothers me, because I figured that the first one had A, B, C, D, and E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I thought maybe volume 2 would start with F and then go from there. Norvina 2 and 3 have A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way through E as well. I do think that $60 is an expensive price point for a palette. The most I've spent on a palette is $65, and that's for the Huda Beauty Nude palette. And I was reading up on a lot of these shades. A lot of them are pressed pigments, which aren't eye safe, so you use them at your own risk. So I thought that was a little strange. YOLO, I know I'm gonna use them. I don't think that this release is getting the reaction that Anastasia was probably expecting. They are being released so quickly, back to back. I heard on Twitter it was due to production issues, but even then, instead of shelling them out super fast, like release the first one in the fall, and then when winter starts up, release 2. I know 2 story is probably more of a spring, but I don't know. That's just something that they would have to figure out planning wise. It is very overwhelming from a consumer standpoint. Buying all 3 palettes at once, that's $180. You know, that's groceries for a week or 2, electric, water bills. It is definitely something that is way too much, way too fast. And the main reason why I bought them personally was to do a comparison video of the 3 to help you guys out if you're on the fence about one of them. If I didn't have a YouTube channel and I was just the average consumer, I know I wouldn't buy all 3 or even one of them. Moving on to Haus Labs by Lady Gaga. Nothing from this collection really catches my attention. It just seems like another celebrity creating makeup for a cash grab. People are gonna buy it because it has Lady Gaga's name. Nothing against Lady Gaga. I do enjoy her music, but I just don't see any point of her creating a makeup line. So Nikita Dragun is dropping a face palette. She came out with 2 powders and then an orange color corrector. I do like that it's a face palette. I think eyeshadow palettes are very overwhelming right now in the community, but this face palette does not really scream to me. I don't like how the highlighter, blushes, and bronzers are all different sizes. I think I would have liked it a little bit better if it was a little bit more symmetrical. And I also think that one of the bronzer or contour shades is way too dark for me. It would probably look like I went mudding, which is something I am not going for, but I think the highlighter shades are kind of pretty and maybe the blushes, but I'm just turned off by the different sizes of the pans. I would have liked to seen the highlighter shades and the blushes be a lot more bigger than the bronzer contour shades. Lime Crime is dropping a holiday collection. I don't own any of the Lime Crime quads. I actually have just been leaning more towards bigger palettes just because I can get more use out of them, create more looks, and that's just for me. Some people do like these smaller quads, which the green quad is calling my name, as well as the blue quad. The pinkish quad, I feel like I would have an easier time duping those shades in some other palettes than the green and the blue. Ooh, so they have some trio of lippies as well. There's this beautiful turquoise lipstick, low-key I would definitely want to try. And then it looks like they have some liquid highlighters. I do have some of their powder highlighters, which I really do enjoy, so I'm interested in seeing how the liquid formula would be. They have a set of 5 lipsticks of more wearable shades. I really like the Velveteen formula. I think it's great, so that's something I would definitely look into. Oh, then they have like this really big one. I guess if you wanted to get a small one for your friend and get the big one for you, or just buy one of them and split the lipsticks, that would be a good idea too. And then they have a palette which doesn't really scream Christmas to me. It looks like Lime Crime took the route of Too Faced and Tarte, put a bunch of neutral shades and then pops of blue. I think I would rather buy the 3 individual quads over this Christmas tree palette. And then they have some spray hair dyes, which would be fun. I actually need a pink one for Halloween. Can you guess what I'm gonna be for Halloween if I need pink hair dye? Moving on to La Rock Cosmetics, not La Rock, La Rock. Just switch the O and the A of La Rock and you get La Rock Cosmetics. Not gonna lie, these palettes are screaming to me. I love this big warm palette with 2 highlighting shades. I have so many warm palettes, but I'm just a sucker for them. Any warm palette, I am definitely gonna be staring at for a while. I haven't tried this brand before. I haven't even heard of it until doing this video. I think I would rather buy the eyeshadow highlighting palette than the smaller palette that they have, but that face palette looks really nice. And then the heavy green with a pop of blue and yellow. At a first glance, it reminds me of the Subculture palette by ABH, but those swatches look really, really nice, and it definitely has. Plus, it's a different brand. I would love to give it a shot. Looks like Airspun is coming out with some loose highlighters. I have heard of this brand. I know it's in Walmart, and I haven't been able to find it in my local Walmart. There are 3 Walmarts within like a 4-mile radius of my house, so I definitely need to go on a hunt for this brand. I don't really like loose highlighters just because they are messy, but if I am careful, I really like how they look on my cheekbones, and that pink highlighter is so pretty. I would definitely pick up all 3 shades. They're $6 a pop, which is not a terrible price. The next brand is Kat Von D. I know there's a lot of controversy about her. My opinion on her makeup release is about her brand and not her as a person, if that makes sense. I don't buy Kat Von D anymore, but I just want to give my opinion on this palette. She released a Lolita palette, and it is boring. Even if she wasn't as controversial as she is, I still wouldn't buy it. I don't know why there is a design between these 3 shades. Those 3 shades aren't anything special, I don't think. They don't look special. If I had to choose between one of these palettes, it'd probably be the first Lolita palette. Even then, it seems a little bit boring, and I could just dip into the Morphe 3503 palette. It has those same exact shades. I think for $50, it's way overpriced just because the shades are very similar to each other. I don't think you can get a lot of use out of it. Kylie Cosmetics is collabing with Balmain, which I don't know who Balmain is. It's for Paris Fashion Week, so I definitely am gonna be out of the loop. But it's another boring palette. I don't get excited about Kylie Cosmetics releases at all. Personally, I think her products are trash. If you want something similar to Kylie, just buy ColourPop. You're gonna get a better quality at a more affordable price. I view Kylie Cosmetics as a cash grab. You're just paying for her name. The pop of mint is the only thing that catches my eye. I feel like I can grab that mint color in my Morphe 35H palette. I know Morphe's a controversial brand and I keep bringing them up. Those palettes are so big that I could easily dupe these palettes. These lip products probably won't work well with my skin tone, and I find them to be very patchy. But then again, that's just me. ColourPop is coming out with these hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizers, and I wish this came out during the summer. I don't really wear foundation in the summer because of how hot it gets. It's still hot. It's fall and it's still 93 degrees here in North Carolina. It was such a missed opportunity for this to be released in the summer. I think that this would also be nice for the fall as well because I do have dry skin and it's only gonna get drier from here, especially when we creep into winter. This is something to consider. $14 is not bad at all. They also have a new primer and setting spray, which I would be interested in picking up as well. And then now they have their version of a beauty blender. I haven't used a sponge since I have tried Sigma brushes. I have been using that 3D HD Max Kabuki ever since. I haven't been able to put it down. I do have a few sponges. I look at them and I go, 3D HD Max Kabuki, let go. I hope that they expand their shade range because there's only 24 shades. That's my only gripe I have. Kara Beauty is releasing this beautiful, stunning palette that has my attention, and looking at the swatches, these look gorgeous. I don't trust swatches on Instagram or on websites because there have been too many cases where makeup brands have photoshopped them. That's why I like to do live swatches on my channel because it's very deceiving of what you see online versus actually doing it yourself. But then they also have a warm palette which has similar packaging to Norvina 3, and I feel like that this palette is tricking my brain with that pop of yellow. I feel like it's very similar to my Suns Out Buns Up palette, and then I also have the Violet Voss Coral palette, but this would be a fun palette to pick up and do a head-to-head comparison between the three. Benefit is coming out with a brow styler. It looks like it took the Goof Proof brow pencil, and Smashbox actually had a brow product very similar to the Precise Angle Tip, and this is the baby that those two products had. I've always talked on my channel about like shaping out my brows with a pomade and then filling them in with a pencil, and this is like the concept that I'm getting at looking at this product. So I probably will actually try this when I run out of my Goof Proof brow pencil, which I'm working on panning, as well as my ABH Brow Wiz and the Wander Beauty micro pencil. I just have a lot of brow products right now. Pat McGrath is coming out with a holiday collection. Oh, those prices. I don't think I could ever justify it. For one lipstick is $40. Yes, the packaging is absolutely adorable. I can't do it. And then they have these quads, which that turquoise and purple shades are calling my name, but $65 for one damn quad. That is $5 more than those big ass Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. Like, I would rather buy those than these itty bitty quads. I have not tried anything Pat McGrath for this reason of them being so expensive. I would think with having these little quads, it would kind of be the Natasha Denona route where she had like those big $120 palettes, and then they made that little $65 palette. Then they made the Metropolis palette, which is also $129, but it is more shades than her typical $129 palettes. We're just gonna scroll over that. My bank account is crying just looking at that. Also forgot to mention that Anastasia Beverly Hills is coming out with these 10 different glitters. They are $15 each, which is really expensive for these itty bitty jars. I think if you would want glitter or these loose pigments, just go pick up the NYX ones at Ulta. They're like $2. And glitter is an eye safe. You use it at your own risk. I don't know if $15 would be worth an eye disease. Charlotte Tilbury is coming out with a little quad and lip gloss. This quad is really boring, but I do think it would be great for everyday use. But my issue with it is that it's $53. I don't know where these high-end brands think that the average consumer is gonna pay $53 for these 4 itty bitty shades. The lip gloss is $22. It is a pretty pinky nudie shade. I don't think it would look good on me. At least $22. It's around ABH price. Murad is coming out with these really cute holiday sets. I really do enjoy Murad's skincare a lot. I am not in the market for needing more skincare, but I think that these bundles would be a really good way to try more of their products or replenish because Murad can get quite expensive. I've only used one product from Murad's green line, which is the acid peel, and I love it. And then I have used the AHA cleanser from this magenta line, which I really enjoy. I haven't tried anything from their orange line, which might be geared more towards vitamin C. Oh my gosh, Hourglass. Ugh. So I am still a little salty. Every year they release this 6-pan face palette. They came out with 2 last year. They never restocked one of them, and that was the one I really wanted. I'm not really drawn towards the 6-pan palette this year, but I'm really glad they did the quad, and I ended up picking up the quad. I've been wanting some of Hourglass's bronzers and blushes for a while. This quad is only blushes, and these look very intense, but what I've heard is that these Hourglass powders go on so nice to the cheeks, and you can build them up to your liking. Hourglass is on the expensive expensive side too. But I think for $58 for the little quad is not a bad price. I think a mini blush goes for about $25 to $35. So to get 4 of them for $58, I think that is not a bad price. And then the big 6 pan goes for $80. I would have gotten this for like the more bronzer shades, but I knew I wouldn't get much use out of that, like that white shade. I know a lot of people like to use that for brightening the under eyes, which I don't need glitter under there. I don't need to be a vampire. Or that really light pinky shade. I don't know if that's a highlighter. Too Faced is coming out with a pumpkin spice and everything nice makeup set. I definitely think that the theming is super adorable, but again, I feel like I can dupe every single shade in this palette. But it does come with a Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This set is $46 and that mascara is about half the price. But I am allergic to Too Faced glosses, so I wouldn't get any use out of the gloss. I haven't really done an investigation of what ingredient could be causing the reaction. I get a really bad tingling sensation and then my lips puff out like the cheap fish from Mario, so I just stay away from those glosses. But the palette packaging is really cute. Also, I do want to throw in the comments, Too Faced and Tarte are notorious of their quality of eyeshadows are completely different between their standard formula versus their holiday formula. I would proceed with caution buying this palette. If you are expecting the Too Faced formula of like their chocolate palettes, their holiday palettes are chalky, they're patchy, they don't blend well, their shades fade away. We have another brand I have not tried before. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's Menagerie Cosmetics or Menaguri Cosmetics. It's called the Killer Purr palette and it has Mufasa and Simba on it. And the shades in this palette I could definitely get by. It has a nice pop of green, purple, and turquoise. I think a lot of looks could be created. I have definitely seen this brand float around YouTube, especially from Annette's Makeup Corner and Amy Loves Makeup. I know that they use the Whale Song palette, which I was really close to purchasing. It's still on my wish list because it has beautiful blues and greens. They have this really cute octopus palette that has been sold out for a while now too, which I want. Might as well just add this to my list. Artist Couture is coming out with the Midnight Maven palette. Automatically, I think of the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm palette. That would be really fun to do a head-to-head comparison of those two palettes. But if you don't want a palette that big like the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Storm, you want something a little bit more smaller, travel friendly, I think that this Artist Couture palette could be it for you. $29 I don't think is bad for these 8 shades. I haven't tried Artist Couture's eyeshadow formula, but I do like their loose highlighter formula. It is beaming, and by the swatches, this looks pretty beaming too. The last 3 shades, turquoise, lavender, and magenta shades, are sucking me into wanting this palette. Melt Cosmetics is coming out with the Alchemy Ultra Matte Liquid Eyeliner. This looks exactly like the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeliner, but in black packaging. For me, I don't really like eyeliners that you have to take the cap off and apply. I don't have a steady hand at all. Even felt tips give me a very hard time. So I feel like I would just end up like a panda or raccoon if I use this. But if you have used the Anastasia Beverly Hills and you picked this up, I would love to know the difference between the two. Juvia's Place is coming out with some stick foundations. These are supposed to be creamy, easy, blendable, and hydrating. So it sounds a lot different from their full coverage matte foundation. I do own their foundation. I have not used it yet because I've been wanting to do a wear test. What I have heard, it is the most full coverage foundation anyone has ever tried. Definitely want to see how these stick foundations are because I find stick foundations to be very, very, very drying, and I haven't been able to use many of them. I would definitely want to give these a shot. There are 30 shades and they are $16, which I think is a very fair price. It's in between drugstore and high-end, more on the drugstore affordable side. Hopefully Ulta gets these soon. I also want them to get that Nomad palette in real soon too. I really get excited when Juvia's Place announces a new product. Last but not least, we have Drunk Elephant holiday sets. I don't like Drunk Elephant. I know that sounds very blasphemous, but I haven't found any product of theirs to work for me. Their cleanser stripped away at my face so bad. Like my face had to go into rehab for a week. I did not like their cleansing balm to break down my makeup. It did not do a good job. One of their serums or treatment oils, I forget which one it was, actually like burned my skin a little bit, and their moisturizer made my face drier. than hydrated, so I just haven't had the best of luck with Drunk Elephant. But if you do enjoy Drunk Elephant and you want to try more of their products, I definitely think that this is a good way to do so because of how expensive their products are. Even though the sets are still pretty expensive. Oh girl, that was a lot to go through. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this style of video. I really enjoy just sitting down and chatting with you guys on new makeup releases. I can definitely try to make this a weekly or bi-weekly thing just because of how quick brands are releasing makeup, and I think it's a lot of fun to share my opinions and also engaging with you guys in the comments. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these products that we covered in today's video. What has your attention? What doesn't have your attention? And what are your thoughts on brands releasing products so quickly? Do you feel that there is this high demand that brands have to be doing it? Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you don't, thank you for the view anyway, and I'll see you in the next video.